Hey there, welcome back, it's me, Chen. Today we are continuing our nostalgia trip by celebrating an iconic gaming franchise out there, Far Cry. Wait, what? Far Cry, you're saying? That's right. It's been a journey spanning 20 years now, filled with breathtaking landscapes, intense action, and memorable characters. But before we jump into I want to thank Ubisoft for giving me the opportunity to cover Far Cry and providing Twitch drops and giveaways for our community. But now let's get started. First things first, did you know that the very first Far Cry wasn't even developed by Ubisoft? Far Cry 1, released in 2004, was actually developed by Crytek, the same studio behind the Crysis series and Hunt Showdown. Back in the time, this game introduced us to beautiful islands and new technologies such as DirectX 9.0C and Shader Model 3, giving us a never-seen-before graphic quality and features such as realistic water. Far Cry was sold 2.6 million times back then. For Crytek, this game was a big step into the gaming history. Far Cry was the first game which the Cry engine was developed for, and starting as a tech demo called Exile, it pushed innovation further during those times. I still remember those times. It was hard to get the game running on PC back then due to it being so demanding, but if you had it, let's say gamers and nerds with the CD burner were all of a sudden the most popular kids on the schoolyard during those times. How did Ubisoft come into play? They were the publisher for Crytek's title, but things were about to change. But first, something different. Remember the Far Cry movie? Yeah, it happened and I wish it didn't. In 2008, we got a cinematic adaptation of the game. Unfortunately, it didn't quite capture the essence of the game, to put it mildly, and wasn't received very well. But hey, let's give it credit for trying, right? 2008, we got Far Cry 2, which took us to Africa. Things were going to change, the story should be more realistic, and the game was not developed by Crytek anymore. Ubisoft Montreal took over and the game got a new engine. The game was vast for the times, 50 square kilometers, starring jungles, savannas, deserts, and more, split into two parts. No more monsters, but therefore we have day and night changes and a regenerating world which you would be able to mess around with. While the story did not really interconnect with the predecessor in-game, there were bugs trying to tie both games together. In the coming years, more happened. From the main series, we got Far Cry 3, which introduced new gameplay mechanics, and for the first time Far Cry should not be based on a book like its predecessors. Far Cry 4 introduced co-op multiplayer, and the fifth installment brought us to America, to the fictional Hope County in Montana. Far Cry 5 had a single player and a co-op mode. New was a character editor enabling you to change skin color, appearance, and more. Can't believe it took so long to introduce a character editor. Little side info, Peter demanded for Far Cry 5 to be banned from the market because you were able to fish. And all this is reaching up to Far Cry 6, which was released in 2021, playing on the beautiful and fictional Caribbean island of Yara. Far Cry 6 enhanced all the possibilities you had before, giving you more options, more menus, and gadgets, which by some critiques wasn't received that well. Maybe sometimes it can become too much, I agree. However, after the previous title, Far Cry 6 was received very well overall. Now some of you might think there are more, and yes there were. Next to the main series, there were plenty of spin-offs from the main series of Far Cry games. Far Cry Instincts, Vengeance, Primal, just to name a few. Some of them more loved and some of them less loved for enforcing anti-tamper techniques such as Denuvo, for example. And there you have it, 20 years of Far Cry, from the jungles of the islands to the mountains of Kyrat. It's been one wild ride through gaming history if you ask me, as 20 years are a long time. And if you don't really have Far Cry on your direct focus, you will eventually have heard about it. So cheers to you, Far Cry, happy birthday. What was your favorite Far Cry? Drop it in the comments and share your memories. Thanks so much for watching and take care until next time.